could a teacher ask the government to bring law enforcement to the school to arrest children who are only trying to get an education?
The substitute teacher now under investigation after allegedly making a social media post urging ICE agents to visit a district high school in Fort Worth because, in their words, the students don't speak English.
We have this teacher being condemned by public officials in Fort Worth, and I don't think it was a full-time teacher, it was a part-time teacher. And you have to look at the intersection of free speech and employment, because this is public employment, right? This is.
All right. Shalom, Israel, shalom. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect and all the men and women who are rehearsing the righteous acts day in and day out. Shalom to you. As you can see, this video I uploaded, this Edomite right here with his smooth tongue, quick to justify the acts of having kids arrested in school without the consent or the knowledge of the parents knowing that they're going to go grab their kids from school. Okay. I'm going to continue playing the video, but I just wanted to bring that up because, as you can tell, you know, the spirit don't lie. The spirit of these cavemen Edomites and their wickedness, they can't help. Just give them a microphone and let them talk, and they'll tell on themselves easy, because the Lord has made them naked. You know, they don't even realize that's how wicked they are. They don't know how to discern true righteousness, right? Let's go here to Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Just like that devil, you heard him trying to be all smart and sophisticated. But if you really listen, he's a moron, because they tell on themselves on a live audience on all over the platforms, right? But war was in his heart. His words were smoother, softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, right? Because that's who this devil is, you know? He thinks he could just slither his way, you know, with his tongue, you know? Let's go over here. Give me 1 second. Let's go back to the video.
This isn't a private company that can hire and fire people that piss them off for any reason other than an illegal reason in this at-will employment state that is Texas. This is a public employer whose actions are constrained by the free speech clause of the First Amendment. I think that this.
All right, so you heard this caveman over here, that the teacher's rights are constrained. Did you catch that? Yeah, I'm gonna run it back again so you can hear it. That the rights of the teacher are constrained. So in other words, he's defending his other diabolical, wicked Edomite, right? And, you know, very nonchalant, you know, trying to hold himself to a higher position, like he's in the good here. But it's clear they don't have, you know, righteousness in their soul. They don't have a righteous bone in their body. All right, let's hear him say it.
Speech clause of the First Amendment. I think that the Supreme Court has said, hey, kids have a right to an education, whether they're here illegally or legally. We have to educate kids, and I think that is in the best interest of the United States. But I also support the substitute teacher's right to voice their opinion on the free speech and show their frustration that they're not having these kids be in English as a second language classes, that instead they're apparently using their phones to translate the lessons. I can see how that would be incredibly frustrating.
So you heard the devil. He feels they have the right. So a substitute teacher has the right to just call the authorities on underage kids, right? Because the self-proclaimed white man's entitlement of frustration of him having to use a phone is just too much to bear for these Edomites. So with that being said, that just goes to show the spirit of Esau, right? Let's go over here real quick. Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. And that's exactly who these devils are. Let's continue reading here. For you know how that afterwards, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. So this devil, knowing the wickedness that he does and continues doing, he will still try to seek it with tears. So that just goes to show that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah has created these demons like that. I believe a lot of them can't help the Edomite spirit that's in them. You just let them talk and they'll just tell on themselves. He wanted to validate that it's okay that the teacher was stressed out having to use an app to translate for kids, so he should have the right to speak on that. Mind you, this is just a substitute teacher, I believe is what he said. Whether it be substitute or not doesn't mean anything. But Esau will find a way to justify his teachers. But what about these celebrities and NBA players and football players? You notice how quick them brothers will get pushed to the point where they are accused and to the point where they will get completely fired from their career, right? So see the double standards? That's who this devil is. And you have a lot of these super famous athletes that make a killing. And that just goes to show, proof in itself, that they're still just a high price slave. That's all there is, a slave that gets paid really damn well and got a certain amount of perks in here in Babylon the Great. But that teacher, according to this guy, has all the right. But none of these high praise slave Israelites can't do that shit. Their ass will get fucking lynched and fucking fired in a heartbeat doing some shit like that. But you see the double standards within these devils, and they can't help but expose themselves. Let's continue right here.
For an educator.
To call this wolf in sheep's clothing a teacher is a slap in the face to all good teachers.
They are teachers.
She ain't nothing but a dirty, low-down wolf. Or if it's a he's a dirty, low-down wolf. A teacher is supposed to be a trusted confidant to a student.
Why?
A teacher is supposed to be one that a student can rely on if they're in trouble.
I don't know if you caught that, devil, but he said why. He said a teacher is supposed to be somebody that young underage kids should look for to trust, especially in a situation of danger, because they're the adult. And what does this devil do? He clears his throat and he says, why? Because that's who he is, man. He's Esau, the devil. And you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indigenous are 2/3 of our people that are going to be annihilated along with these damn devils, is because you are completely lost and to know what true righteousness is. And you're going to get dealt with harshly just like these damn devils, man. Because for no reason am I saying we don't have twisted people in our own nation. We do. But this devil right here is the one that's in power. And he's reaping the benefits of him being in power. And you trying to keep my composure here, you retarded ass Hebrew Latinos, blacks, and Hispanics, and Native Indigenous Americans that are too stupid to know and realize who your enemy is. And that's why you're going to get what you're going to get. And that's why we're in the worst type of judgment that's coming here soon. I'm going to continue playing here.
If they need assistance, if something bad is happening at home, happening at school, happening in community, you're always told you can confide in your teacher. That's a person of protection and security and trust for a student.
Who told anyone
man,
that?
let me finish.
Well, who told anyone that? You're lying.
I'll let you talk.
I didn't lie.
Let me finish.
You're lying.
You white.
Of course, this devil, has to interrupt the brother, because he was feeling the conviction, and that's how these devils act. Notice at the beginning, he was trying to be all sophisticated, nonchalant, supposedly into control, but he can't help himself. He's a devil, and his blood started boiling. The red blood that's in his veins just, piercing through his skin because he's the red devil, right? He couldn't help and has to resort to ignorance like the caveman that he is. And he had to interrupt the brother, right? Because the brother was speaking 100% bold as a lion, true righteousness. And it was destroying this devil right here. He couldn't handle it. He had to just blurt out. That demon had to come out, right? Again, these devils can't help who they are, and they've been made naked, right? They have been made naked by the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. And to the point where, even their own people, I guarantee you, are just shaking their head in shame. Even though they're Edomites too. Some might even be Israelites, but only because they're Edomites doesn't mean they feel shame as well. And that's what a lot of them are feeling. Let's continue here.
Folks lie for a living.
Us white
Now, let me
folks,
tell you something.
I'm just one.
This teacher is dead wrong to now say in a post to the government, come to my school. I got many of them here who don't speak English and translate using their phone to translate. Come to my school and get them. You dirty, low-down snake. Because what you're doing is asking the government to come and take and kidnap people's children from school, where when a parent sends their child to school, they believe that's a safe environment, a trusted environment, an environment where the child will be protected. But to tell them to come and get them behind their parents' backs, that's dirty and low down. How could a teacher?
And there you go. As the brother was saying, that's low down. That's only an animal, a beast would do that type of act accordingly. You know what I mean? To go against defenseless underage kids, and like the brother was saying, a lot of parents, they're told, hey, they're safe here in school while they go work and make a living for their family. And you got some damn demons out there, plotting against their underage kids, man. And that's the reality of life for you Hebrew Israelites, right? We are the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indigenous of the America, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Bible. And these are the curses, and this is the daily shit that goes on in our life. Okay? The Lord has given authority to these demons to act accordingly. Okay? It's time to repent and stop bullshitting, man. Your kids are at risk. You yourself, everyone, man. Okay? And some of you idiots don't even know who your enemy is still, man. Even with all the damn proof in the world that's been showing at the beginning of this year, and even not even this, even the whole past 10, 15 years, they've showed who they are, man. But you got to have your head far up your ass not to see this shit, man. You got your head so far up Babylon's ass that you cannot see shit. All right, let's continue here. Let's go over here. Deuteronomy 28. Let's start at 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. All right, who has the mascot of an eagle? A lot of these Edomite nations, if you didn't notice, United States, and a lot of these other European nations. In nations whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Very simple. A lot of the brothers, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indigenous of the America, we that wasn't our language. English or Spanish was not our language. So we didn't know. There was a time we didn't know their language, and it was forced upon us, along with their last names. Because they owned us and still own us to this day, right? Let's continue reading here. 28:50. A nation of fair countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, or nor show favor to the young. Okay? And that's exactly to the T who Esau Edom is. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old. He doesn't give a shit about old people. Okay? He doesn't give a shit about old people. This is one of the nations that preys on old people to scam them. Out of all the nations in the world, this is like one of the number one places to rob, steal, and scam old people, man. It's a disgusting piece of shit nation, Babylon, that is. Here, spiritual Babylon, which is spiritual Egypt and spiritual Sodom, right? This is the piece of shit that these fucking Babylonians here hold their pride up so high for, right? Let's continue reading here. 28:51. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee. And that's exactly what he did here and still doing here in the Americas to the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indigenous of the America. The Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom tribes. Right? That's the same devils that I think it was a couple months, they caught some damn Edomite cave, wildebeest looking retarded bitch going around breaking the bones off of babies in the hospital, man. What kind of animal does that, man? I don't even think an animal will do that, man. That's the vile, profane person of the world, man. Only Esau would do some shit like that, man. I guarantee you could leave a baby around some wild beast and they might not even mess with it like that, man. But that just goes to show the demons that they are, man, and how the Lord has made them naked, right? Let's see here. Give me 1 second. Let's go to Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's not hiding himself anymore. He can't. He can't help it. He's got so much hate, such a demon inside his damn core that he can't help but to get on live TV and to justify the evil wickedness that they do day in and day out, to the point where they even lash out and scream that demon that they got inside of them. Okay? That's how wicked they are, man. Usually you're supposed to be bold as a lion when you're in the 100% right, according to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. You are bold in your righteousness, but these motherfuckers are demons. They're bold with their wicked evilness, man. They'll look you dead in the eye and saying, fuck you. And what? We got the right to do that. That's how sick and twisted these demons are. Right? Let's continue reading. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is nothing. And we could look up that word. It doesn't mean not there in this case. It means nothing. Okay? That's why you have to study. You have to be careful with the transliteration, because that wouldn't make sense, right? I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered a secret place, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not, doesn't make sense, and he is nothing. Okay? So you can look it up yourself. Hell, I'll look it up for you real quick, because some of you don't have the faith. So if your ass ain't got the faith, then look it up. Look it up. If you don't believe what the Hebrew Israelites are saying, stop being a lazy bitch and complaining, talking about that ain't right, that don't sound. Well, look it up your damn self. That's what I did. That's how your spirit moves you. Because if you're about true righteousness, you're going to look and find and study for yourself, all right? So you won't have to rely on somebody else. And the apostles and elders tell you day in and day out, the great millstone preaching this 100% truth with humility and sincerity, and telling our people to get off their fucking ass and search and do diligent work, right? You got so many people trying to battle and try to mock and try to say we don't know what we're talking. Well, then look it up yourself. Stop being a punk, right? There you go. Nothing, without, lack, not exist. And he is not existing. He is nothing. Esau is. Right? Let's continue reading here. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 28. And I believe I was in, I think I was in 52. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustedest, throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai have given thee. Right? And that's exactly what these devils are doing. They're besieging thee in all thy gates, in all the cities and borders. Everywhere you go, this demon has that plan, has government officials with laws, executive orders passed, signed, but all these demons and wicked heathens from all these other nations to go against Jake, to go against you Hebrew Israelites. But again, you got your damn head so far up Babylon's ass, that's why you can't hear or see shit, right? You're too fucking stupid. Let's look at 28:53. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy God hath given thee in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee. And you can look up this word yourself. Straitness means to oppress, right? When the siege and Jacob's trouble, and in the oppression, and in the oppression, wherewith thy enemies shall distress thee. Okay? That's exactly what they do to us day in, day out. They have a systematic racism and oppression system to oppress you Hebrew Israelites. Okay? Let's go over here to Salakia. Give me 1 second. Okay, so that is who this devil is, man. And he's exposing himself every day. So obvious. And yet our people are still stubborn. Let's go to Jeremiah 30:17. Let's start at 10. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, said the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and it shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. Okay, this is the promise that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua did with his nation of Israel. Okay, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indigenous of America. Okay, all this bullshit we had to go through because we're a stiff-necked people, you know. And even with all this, you see our stiff-necked ass still bowing down to this damn nation and these people, right? It gets to the point where, you know, we deserve that shit, you know, we really do. Let's go here to Jeremiah 30 and 14. Let's see. Let's start at 13. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. Okay. Give me 1 second now. Okay. All thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the sword of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. You know, it's been increasing here in this damn wicked ass Babylon. You know, this low vibration wicked nation. Jeremiah 30:15. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto thee. Right? Yahweh Hashem Yahushua letting us know this is what he's done to us. He let these damn dogs, this damn demon dogs on us. Right? But don't worry. The cup will be transferred over into them. They're going to pay regardless. Let's continue reading here in 30:16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. So all these damn Edomites over here devouring the northern and the southern kingdom over here, man. You know, killing even our kids, man. You've seen how petty and disgusting they are to try to justify incriminating kids, you know, that are defenseless while their parents are not around. That just goes to show down to their soul who these wicked demons are, man. These serpents, man. But it's all good because when Yahweh Hashem Yahushua comes and he uses his hopeful elect, they're going to have the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua of 100% pure righteousness in their soul, man, to devour these damn demons. And all thy adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. So these fools real soon will be the prey. Because as soon as Yahweh Hashem Yahushua takes that protection off of them, man, they are fucking done. Esau Edom is done, man. He's buried himself so fucking deep in the ground, he don't even realize it, man. Let's continue reading here, Jeremiah 30:17. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, said the Lord Yahweh, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Okay. Let's continue reading here. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and I have mercy on his dwelling places, and the city shall be builded upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. Okay. Okay, so anyways, I think I was able to cover everything on that video. I'm going to go ahead and play that video one more time, just so you guys can see the whole thing without me interrupting, just in case you haven't seen it.
How could a teacher ask the government to bring law enforcement to the school to arrest children who are only trying to get an education.
A substitute teacher now under investigation after allegedly making a social media post urging ICE agents to visit a district high school in Fort Worth because, in their words, the students don't speak English.
We have this teacher being condemned by public officials in Fort Worth, and I don't think it was a full-time teacher, it was a part-time teacher. And you have to look at the intersection of free speech and employment, because this is public employment, right? This isn't a private company that can hire and fire people that piss them off for any reason other than an illegal reason in this at-will employment state that is Texas. This is a public employer whose actions are constrained by the free speech clause of the First Amendment. I think that the Supreme Court has said, hey, kids have a right to an education, whether they're here illegally or legally. We have to educate kids, and I think that is in the best interest of the United States. But I also support the substitute teachers' right to voice their opinion on the free speech and show their frustration that they're not having these kids be in English as a second language classes, that instead they're apparently using their phones to translate the lessons. I can see how that would be incredibly frustrating for an educator.
To call this wolf in sheep's clothing a teacher is a slap in the face to all good teachers.
They are teachers.
She ain't nothing but a dirty, low-down wolf. Or if it's a he's a dirty, low-down wolf. A teacher is supposed to be a trusted confidant to a student.
Why?
A teacher is supposed to be one that a student can rely on if they're in trouble, if they need assistance, if something bad is happening at home, happening at school, happening in community. You're always told you can confide in your teacher. That's a person of protection and security and trust for a student.
Who told anyone that?
Man, let me finish.
Well, who told anyone that? You're lying.
I let you talk.
I didn't lie.
Let me finish.
You're lying.
You white folks lie for a living.
Us white
Now, let me
folks,
tell you something.
I'm just one.
This teacher is dead wrong to now say in a post to the government, come to my school. I got many of them here who don't speak English and translate using their phone to translate. Come to my school and get them. You dirty, low-down snake. Because what you're doing is asking the government to come and take and kidnap people's children from school, where when a parent sends their child to school, they believe that's a safe environment, a trusted environment, an environment where the child will be protected. But to tell them to come and get them behind their parents' backs, that's dirty and low down. How could a teacher?
All right. I'm going to end it with this one. Isaiah 14:20, thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. And Isaiah 14:21, Esau, this is for you. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who are preaching and teaching this truth with humility and sincerity across the four corners of the world to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indigenous of the Americas, and the speckled bird that are amongst those other nations that look like those from those other nations, but their lineage goes back to Jacob as well. Shalom.